Good evening and welcome. Please join me, if you're at home and have a candle or a chalice, please join me in lighting that with these words from the Reverend Dr. Kendall Gibbons. We are here because we are people of faith. Within each of our lives, the conviction of a saving faith that could restore our broken world and illuminate the lives of our sisters and brothers. Ancient wisdom teaches that we who would save the planet and the world, must first save ourselves. We who would restore the planet must first learn to restore the broken structures of the institutions closest to hand, to eliminate the lives of our companions and our friends. To this end, let us center ourselves on our chalice, acknowledging the trouble of mind and vexation of spirit that accompany us even here in this place. Let us open ourselves to that creative mystery which is at work in our striving, whose servants we are and seek to be. Once again, welcome to the Olympia Unitarian Universalist Congregation Thursday evening spiritual practice. Here at OUUC, we envision an interconnected world that is loving, just, and healthy. We commit to live out our mission to welcome and to wonder, embrace and empower, bridge and become. We gather together this evening offering support to each other and receive it for ourselves, remembering that we are connected to something greater and that we are not alone. So welcome, everyone. It is good to be together. I'm the Reverend Carol McKinley, OUUC's affiliated community minister. And this evening, I'm joined by our music director, Troy Fisher, and thank you to Teresa Madsen for our tech support this evening. We invite you, as you gather either online or here, to take in the words and the music, noticing what speaks to you. What are you being offered tonight? I invite you to arrive here now. Settle into your seat. Feel all the ways that your body and spirit are held. Focus on your breath. One way that the spirit is known. Breathe in peace and breathe out love.
Our first reading tonight is offered by Richard Gilbert. We come together as a community of faith. We come to be fed, to drink at the table of tradition, to partake of the wisdom of our companions. The faith we share is not a commonality of belief. The faith we share is a fundamental confidence in life. A confidence in the peace of this holy hour in which we hold our basic trust in human existence. An affirmation of the worth of the human enterprise. Our faith is knowledge there is more to life than eyes or ears or thought alone can grasp. Our faith is an affirmation of our human capacity to respond to all that fate flings against us. And yet, to proclaim to all that life is good. Our faith is in that great mystery of things in which we live and move and have our being, always faithful to the best that is in us, knowing there is no other way to live faithfully. Let's hold a moment of silence together.
The Reverend Jackie Clement writes, "Years ago, when my former car, rest its soul, turned 10, it developed an unpredictability and a surliness often associated with adolescence. In the beginning, it was just little things, like a rash of burned out headlight bulbs and a rogue seat adjustment. But the one quirk that really got on my nerves was the radio. It turned on and off at will and seemingly at whim. At first, it would just take a while until the car warmed up before it started working. Later, it would turn on when I started the car and go off a few minutes later. Basically, it came on and went off whenever it felt like it. Over a period of 10 years, I learned a lot of things from my car radio, like all the words to Achy Breaky Heart. But the 4 years I was in seminary, I stuck pretty much to national public radio. And since I often drove up to 3 hours a day, I learned a lot from my radio. The greatest lesson, though, was this: never get attached to an NPR story, because you never know when the radio is going to turn off. The lesson, repeated many times in the years since, was a lesson in letting go. My radio acted as a Buddhist master, teaching me not to become too attached to the state of things as they are, or to a particular outcome. I haven't given up hoping for the best, but I've come to realize that while sometimes the outcome I crave is formed from my high-minded ideals based on experience, reason, and research, other times it's just what I want. And when I want doesn't happen, it's like Galinda says in the stage show Wicked: something's terribly wrong. I'm not getting my way. The challenge for me is to see the longer view beyond my limited perspective. It helps to remember that life is impermanent and imperfect. This, coupled with the faith that everything is innately connected, reminds me that clinging to particulars is both futile and unnecessary. There's one other thing I've learned from my car radio. One evening, I left home after a particularly difficult day, and I was not looking forward to one more meeting. When the car started, the radio was silent. And then about 2 minutes into the trip, it turned on to give me half a line from the Moody Blues, Nights in White Satin. The words were, "I love you." I know it was only the car radio, but somehow I believed it. Let us be together in silence. Invite you now into a time of prayer and meditation. Settle into where you are. Scan your body. Where are you relaxed? Where are you tense? Place your attention where you are tense and see if that changes. Don't force it, just notice. During this time, you may choose to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Notice your breath. Turn your attention to the earth beneath you. Just notice how the earth holds us without us needing to do anything at all. Take a moment to feel delight that you have made a choice to be here now with others in this time. And we are together with these words from Leif Seligman. We pause in the stillness to rest for a moment, to quiet ourselves so that we can feel what stirs within us. Each breath draws us closer to the pulse of life, and within each exhalation, we make room for something new. May we find this evening, may we find the comfort of those around us who care. May we encounter patience along our own growing edges and compassion for our most tender spots. Here in this place, may we find the inspiration and encouragement we need to face our challenges and nurture ourselves. In the presence of suffering across this world, may we redouble our efforts to practice kindness where we are, with the hope that the light of our actions travels like the light of faraway stars. May our gestures of compassion and generosity seed possibility. May we travel humbly with one another, choosing reconciliation over resentment as we try to live right-sized. When life presses in and shifts us off balance, when pain assails us, when frustration mounts, may the rhythm of our breath steady us and bring us back to a place of gratitude. So now, let us take a breath as we move into silence together. As our time together comes to a close, we offer thanks for this time and this space to be together. We offer gratitude for the words and the music. We offer thanks for this community. In the days and weeks to come, may we know that we are not alone and that love will prevail. Let us extinguish our chalices, those of you at home, as well as here in the sanctuary. Let's extinguish them together with these words from Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. Our goal should be to live life in radical amazement. Let us get up in the morning and look at the world in a way that takes nothing for granted. Everything is phenomenal. Everything is incredible. Never treat life casually. To be spiritual is to be amazed. Thank you all for being here. Have a good evening and the rest of this week. Good night.